Hello, everyone. So great to be here on this Tuesday. Yes, I know we were off schedule this week. And you may be thinking, well, it was Labor Day weekends, and that's why there was no live on Monday as usual. But actually, I fully intended to do a live yesterday. I usually do them, for those of you who have been following, Mondays at 4 and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. But basically, I've been recovering from a bit of a stomach bug. Yesterday, I slept most of the day, back in it today. My lips are purple because I've been drinking blue Gatorade like almost nonstop for the last 3 days. But anyway, back in the game, and this week's topic is the frog in hot water, frog in boiling water metaphor. Are you a frog in hot water? And did you know that it's going to boil? So for those of you who are not familiar with it, or at least need a little bit of a reminder of what we're talking about here, and especially how it might relate to being a technical manager, wanting to really break through and get to that next level in your career. So frog in hot water. So essentially, you can't just take a frog and put the frog in boiling water. The frog's not stupid. If you put a frog in boiling water, the frog's just going to jump out. Ouch, that's way too hot. It's a reflexive action. But if you put a frog in lukewarm and tepid water, it's not too hot. Like, oh, maybe it's a little bit warmer than usual, but it'll sit there and it'll acclimate. And then if you slowly increase the temperature of the water, the frog will just stay in there because the frog gets used to the slightly higher temperatures, like a degree here, a degree here, a degree here. And the frog just gets used to that level, that temperature. Oh, this is what it's like. It's hot. They don't even recognize that it's hot. They don't even recognize that it's about that steaming, and then it may be about to boil, because that's what's normal to the frog. This is what life is like. It's a little hot, it's a little steamy, but I can cope. I'm dealing with it. And then, boom, the water starts boiling. And the frog dies. Are you a frog that is in hot water that is about to boil? And what's scary about this kind of situation is that often we don't know. Just like the frog doesn't know. You're so used to it. You're so used to just coping and dealing with the way things usually are that you don't realize how bad it's getting. It's the difference between like throwing yourself or being thrown into a just really nasty situation that is just so much nastier than you're used to, right? Like maybe you start a new job where the culture is just toxic and people are mean to each other all the time. You know, the senior leaders are like walking sexual harassment violations. They're just, and it's just terrible. And you know those kinds of situations. And trust me, we have clients who come to us with those kinds of situations because it's like, whoa, help me get out of this boiling water. Or maybe it's like suddenly you're on a project and you're working 80-hour weeks because of the project, because of demands of the project, and you're only used to working 40-hour weeks. That's like being thrown in hot water. And you're like, whoa, I gotta deal with this. Or, whoa, I'm not going to work 80-hour weeks because this is not sustainable. Or maybe you figure out a way to cope with it just temporarily. You know that it's temporary. You know, you dial up, the personal care, and you dial up to make sure that, okay, just for this week, I can handle it, but then I'm going to make sure I have a recovery process in place. And you recognize those situations because it's such a drastic change in temperature, in stress levels, in toxicity. But when we have when we experience small increases in the stresses in our lives, in the frustrations in our careers, in the struggles that are going on at work. When it's just small changes, slight incremental negative changes, we don't notice it because we cope. That's how we live. It's how we survive. We're not going to walk around every single day and just like not live and not survive. We're going to survive, but we're in survival mode. We're in struggle mode. But we don't notice it. And we tell ourselves stories about, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad. I got turned down for a promotion again. I'll deal. This is the second, third, fourth time I've tried to have a conversation with my boss about getting a promotion, and he gave me the silent treatment. Oh, that's just the way he is. That's okay. It's not that bad. I'll deal. No, I worked 50 hours this week. I'm feeling a little tired, but at least it's not 80 hours a week like I used to. And another one is, and I've talked about this before, is you get addicted to the endless firefighting. You get addicted to, okay, I'm just going to jump from fire to fire to fire. And all you're really in is, you're not being proactive, you're being reactive. You're in reactive mode. Put out the fire, put out the fire, put out the fire. And you tell yourself the story that this is awesome and that this is what a manager is supposed to do. And you cope with that. The best managers, the best leaders are not in reactive mode most of the time. They're in proactive mode. You are preventing the fires from happening in the first place. But you tell yourself the story that I'm good. I love the endless firefighting. I don't really mind. There's also the lack of recognition, this feeling of not being recognized. You're overworking, you're over-delivering, and yet you're not recognized for it. You're not given that promotion. You're not given that raise that you absolutely deserve. But you tell yourself the story that I'm okay with it. I don't mind the lack of recognition. That's okay. I don't need my ego to be stroked. Money doesn't motivate me anyway. That's okay. Just the idea that I'm making an impact, that's enough. But yet inside, your identity is being shriveled away. Your identity as a high performer, as an accomplished high performer, as someone who's recognized as a recognized high performer, it's being shriveled away. It's slowly dying, that identity, because you are in hot water and it's getting hotter by 1 degree every single day, and pretty soon it's going to boil. And when you notice that steam coming, and maybe it's about to boil, and maybe you notice it before it's boiling, you have a decision to make, and you're put in like the ultimate of reactive mode. Is if you notice it starts to boil, you're either going to have to jump ship or you get burned. Neither of those are a fun situation, because obviously if you get burned, that means you're in a toxic culture. The stresses of everyday life, of your career, have gotten to the point where they're affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, in a way that you're going to have to do some massive recovery, which for some people, unfortunately, means they end up in a hospital bed. That's what that looks like. Or you're going to have to jump ship. You're going to have to make a really quick change, like really, really fast. You're going to have to make a change, and it's going to need to be so fast, like that frog that would jump out of the boiling water. That's reactive mode. Why let it get to that point? Really, why let it get to that point where you have to wait to see the steam and then just react to it? Why not pay attention? Like, really pay attention to what's going on in your life right now. And I want to tell you something that a lot of people, a lot of tech managers that we speak with, that it's a, oh wow, kind of a moment where there's an initial shock, like you don't want to believe it, but then you're like, oh wow, that's right. Oh wow, I need to change. And that something is surviving is not thriving. And you want to thrive. You deserve to thrive. Surviving is not thriving. Coping all the time is not thriving. Simply trying to keep your head above water, treading water, if that's what you're feeling like right now, that's way, way less than what you deserve. So take a look, like a really hard look, an honest look at what's going on in your career right now and what's going on at work right now and in your work life. Are you simply surviving? Are you just treading water and keeping your head above water? Are you just dealing with it? Are you starting to see signs of the steam? That's something, that the writing's on the wall. Something's about to go down. If that's where you are, then it's time to make a change. And if you're lost in terms of how to make that change, then you got to reach out for help. Or maybe you're at the point where it's like, it's not that obvious, but you know you're not thriving, right? So you're not like treading water and getting tired, but there are times when it's like, oh man, this is really hard. I'm trying to keep my head above water, but I'm certainly not soaring. I'm certainly not soaring. I'm certainly not to the point where I'm thriving. I'm certainly not to the point where I'm earning what I deserve, where I've gotten the promotions that I deserve, where I really, have achieved a Zen-like work-life balance, whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, whatever it is that you know that you're capable of, and you're like 2, 3, 4 steps below that, you may not be all out suffering. You may not feel like you're drowning, but you're certainly not up there. And that hurts too, to not achieve what we're capable of. And if you know you're not achieving what you're capable of, then it's time to reach out for help. Because look, we have a vision for ourselves as far as what we're capable of, right? And that's like somewhere around here. Down here, you can't even see it, it's below the camera. That's suffering. That's just terrible, right? And then here, we're kind of like, we're making it work, but it's hard, right? You still need help here, just like you need help down here, right? But like, and we think what we're capable of is like right here. And even if you're here, that's still not good enough. So we think we're capable of what, is right here. And this is where we think that we're capable of achieving. But let me tell you something. Everyone is capable of achieving way, way, way more than that. It's way up here. You can't even see it. It's off the camera. Because whatever your global beliefs are, whether it's spiritual, whether you believe in God or not, whether you have beliefs just about the way the world works and the way that the universe works, the universe has way bigger plans for all of us than we can even imagine. Here's what you can imagine. Here's what the universe has plans for us. Here's what we're really, truly capable of. So even if you're here, there's so much more that you're capable of. And even then, yes, you need help. To be able to switch on that imagination, to be able to unlock your potential and actually come somewhat close to what the universe has planned for us, because it has big, 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 huge, extraordinary plans. So wherever you are in the frog in hot water metaphor, however hot or steaming or close to boiling, you think that the water is, if you have not achieved what you know you're capable of achieving, it's time to reach out for help, because it's time to upgrade your tech career. It's time to say, I want to reach my full potential. I want to reach my full potential in terms of being the leader that I know that I'm capable of being, the awesome, extraordinary tech leader. It's time for me to learn how to evangelize my excellence and do that in a way that is effective and that comes from my heart and that will absolutely resonate with people. And yes, it's time for me to earn the money and earn the recognition that I deserve as a technical leader. So go ahead and book a call with our team, thepeoplestack.com/book. We're going to take a look. We're going to help you to take a hard, honest look. We're going to reveal the truth of what's actually going on in your career right now. And we absolutely know how to ask you the questions so that you're not going to just, keep telling lies to yourself about it's okay, the water may be almost boiling, but I'm fine. We're not going to let you do that. We're going to hold your feet to the fire to show you this is how close you actually are to boiling water. Because often we can't see that ourselves, and we're the experts that can help you to see that. We're going to take an honest look at what's going on in your career right now, whatever that is. And we're also going to help you stretch your dreams so that you can even come close to your true potential. Come close to what that dream will look like. And if we're 100% confident that we can help you close that gap from where you are to where you want to go, then we're going to tell you what it's going to look like to work together. And it's always your decision as far as whether you want to move forward with that or not. But either way, this is going to be such a clarifying, such a valuable conversation with you, such a valuable conversation that you are going to see your career, see work, your work life, and your whole life in just a different way, in a way that you never looked at it before. You're going to see the truth of what's going on, but you're also going to see the truth of what's possible for you. So go ahead and book a call with our team, thepeoplestack.com/book. And I will see you again tomorrow for some more thoughts on what it looks like, what it feels like, and how to get out of that almost boiling water. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.